Hey, we've got other cappers that may or may not show up. I don't know. Got some poor communication here at Team PickDawgz, but what we do have is really good picks, and of course, we are live 7 days a week, 365 days a year, Monday through Friday. Chris, Brian, and myself sit there. Some days we get along better than others. I'll admit it. It's like I admit it. Brian was a little salty yesterday because the Joe Girardi news. He just he struggled. But
I thought it was a great move by the Phillies. They should have done it sooner. It's a bum.
And then anyways, got NHL action. No NBA today. But last night we had the Rangers taking control of that series against the Lightning, up 2-0. But now they head back to Tampa, and could be a different story, or it could be the same old story. But the way things are shaping up, and I'm no hockey fan or expert, guru, or I really don't know much about it at all, but this could be some pretty quick series, Chris. What do you think?
Yeah, they could. We'll have to see if the Rangers can carry over that success that they've had at home onto the road, but it's usually been the home team that's dominated New York's series so far the postseason. So I'll have to see how it goes. But today's matchup with the Avalanche and Oilers, I think, is more could be a quicker series. It could be a 4 or even a 5-game series, personally.
How about you, Ron? What are you thinking in this? I know you're a Rangers hater, if you're an Islanders fan.
Yeah, I hate both teams, though, Lightning and the Rangers, because the Lightning kept us out of the Cup 2 years in a row. But I honestly,
I think the Islanders kept themselves out of the Cup, but that's different argument for a different day.
No,
but
the Lightning did. We deserved it. But anyway, the Rangers, I think they have control of the series. I think this series is all, but I think it's over. It's just Tampa Bay. The home ice advantage isn't as much as you would think. I've been there for a couple playoff games, and I think the Rangers, as long as they could just take one of those road games in 3 or 4, I think the series is over, as long as they don't lose both of them in Amalie Arena. But on the other side, I think the Avalanche are showing why they're the highest powered offense in the league right now. So, even though they have some goaltending injuries, I still think they're the favorite to win the Cup right now.
Brian, what's the general sentiment in Philadelphia after the Girardi firing, which I called for in April? Even before April, I've been calling for it since the day he was hired. But I think that the Phillies responded with a big effort, but where do you
I think
go?
that really tells you something. I look at maybe it has nothing to do with it, but on the other hand, maybe the players really were motivated yesterday to kick some butt after that firing, because 10-0 isn't the Phillies type of win. And for the most part, I think people are dancing in the streets that he's gone. I mean, I guess there was that when the Phillies first got him, I thought, well, a former Yankee manager, but I guess there's a reason he didn't manage too long in New York. He's a bum. So maybe the Phillies will be better than mediocre, because currently they're not good.
All right. Well, we move on and go.
We still do a Colorado game?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. I just give everybody a couple seconds to join us instead of just sitting here staring at the camera and myself. I figured maybe I would ask everybody a couple quick questions to get everybody kind of warmed up and involved in it. But yeah, we're going to talk about the Colorado game. We're going to the NHL. I got the Avalanche tonight, minus 130 here. You know why? Because the betting tools say so, and that's why. It's good enough for me. I couldn't even tell you what's going on. I know the Avalanche are dominating the series. I know that there's a player prop out there on Connor McDavid under 4.5 shots that it's pretty much a stone cold lock, according to the betting tools. But you're gonna have to pay up for it. I had an interesting prop on my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. It kind of went a different way than I normally do. But Chris, Colorado up against on the VIP show or the premium show, one of the two, Ruffalo this morning, is called the whole Padres organization.
Lord, they're never gonna win. That's gonna be on my my PickDawgz soundtrack for
the organization.
For
gonna go swim in the cement pond.
Jeez, make fun of the Canadian. I like the Avalanche here. I'm with you. I think, Edmonton just hasn't adjusted to the style of play that the Avalanche have produced in the first two games of the series. And for the difference between these two teams is, I've said it before about the Oilers, they're very top heavy. They're reliant on their top line, their top two lines to do a lot of their production. The Avalanche, on the other hand, they can hurt you with all four forward lines. They can hurt you with all three defensive pairings. And even though, we've seen Mike Smith back in goal for the Oilers, he's looking like the Mike Smith from earlier on this season that was struggling, and not the Mike Smith that was slamming the door shut on teams over the course of the second half of the season. I think this series is all Avalanche. I like the Avalanche for the sweep in this series, and it's got to start obviously tonight. So I'm going to take the Avalanche on the money line.
Ron Romanelli, I always think in hockey is one of those sports that, especially, I think a lot of sports, like you can see teams that haven't been there before have a lot of success, get there to the, to the thing and even close the deal. But in hockey, it always seems that the team with the more experience really has a big edge. And so Edmonton was a team that had high expectations. I know Rod, when he was on the show with us, when they made those trades a few years ago, he was really excited about building blocks of the future of the organization. But now we see them kind of get to the playoffs. Last year they were a disappointment, right? And then this year they're kind of there. But kind of like, Wayne Gretzky was swept by the Islanders in his first Stanley Cup final. So, I mean, it kind of tells you, in hockey, I think it's one of the weird sports in this way. And like, in the Super Bowl, it's one game, and the World Series, you see, a pitcher get really hot and kind of just take over, like Josh Beckett did for the Marlins that year or something. You just see it happen. But in hockey, it's like these guys really want that freaking cup. It's like it's just a different vibe, and that's why the NHL playoffs are just a different vibe than any other sport. What do you think is going on here with this one, with this Avalanche team that last year a lot of people had pegged to win it all last year?
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I was about to say is I see in the NHL a lot, you kind of have to be – so last year the Avalanche had huge expectations. Everybody was picking them to win the cup. I mean, it was just crazy. Everybody was slotting them in there, and the Lightning ended up taking the cup again. But a few years back, when the Lightning were the big-time favorites, they won the President's Trophy. I think they had one of the best records in the regular season in NHL history, and then they got swept by the Blue Jackets in the first round. So kind of the expectations in hockey aren't always the best. I know my Islanders, a lot of people had them winning the Metropolitan Division, maybe even winning the Cup this season, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So the Avalanche kind of snuck in the door this season. They weren't really – I mean, a lot of people still had them making the playoffs, but kind of some people turned their heads to them, and now here they are, 2 games away from the Cup, and I think this is their series to take. Obviously, this is a must-win game for Edmonton, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, I think Edmonton's defense and goaltending has shown why it's not as good as Colorado's, and the Avalanche can go score for score with them, if not score more. So I'm going to take the Avalanche on the money line here. I think they do get this sweep, like Ruffalo mentioned.
Brian?
I think we're going to make it 3 for 3 here. I agree with Ruffalo, especially betting now for the sweep. I think you can get a nice price on that. I think in this game you'll see the Oilers maybe jump out to a 2-0 early lead. But I see this being a 3-2 final where Colorado just puts their foot on Edmonton's neck, and I think it'll either go to overtime and win in regulation. So I like the under 7, and I like the Colorado Avalanche on the money line.
What exactly is going on in the series? I mean, obviously I don't watch NHL, but is it the Edmonton Stars like McDavid and Kane, right? Is their other guy? Are these and Draisaitl? That's it. Are these guys not getting it done? I mean, they scored 0 goals last game, so obviously no one got it done. But I mean, is Draisaitl, right? So not Draisaitl. Yeah. So is it like, are these guys does Colorado just have the book written on them, or is it just, well, they're just out hustling them, and these guys just don't know what it takes, kind of like, Gretzky, who like that year, they made it look really easy all season. Gretzky and Curry, and they had Paul Coffey on that team, and Messier and everybody else. And then they got to the Stanley Cup Finals, and Billy Smith was just like, "You're not going to score on us." And Bobby Nystrom, every time they came close, just cleaned house. And then then it was Potvin and Clark Donatelli, and right the whole thing. That they gave him the business. Basically what happened. 4-zip. Is that what's going on here, Chris?
I mean, I would say the bulk of it's, like you said, just been that the Avalanche haven't necessarily shut down the Oilers' top stars like McDavid and Draisaitl, and McDavid had 3 points in that game one, and even Evander Kane had a goal and an assist, but it's just the fact that I think the Avalanche are the deeper team, and like Ron said, the Avs can match whatever offense that the Oilers produce, and it goes back to, I think, my point from earlier is that I think it's just a case of having a team that can score on all four lines against a team that's heavily reliant on their top two. I think it's just the Oilers have a generational talent in McDavid, but the Avalanche just have more elite players on their roster.
All right, what it sounds to me is like what in a league that's become an offensive league, it's not necessarily the Edmonton players that aren't performing. It's they have no answers for what Colorado's throwing at them. Right? Is that can we just safe to say that? So we laid a goal and a half here with the Avalanche. Is that what we're doing?
I think so.
Just take the money line.
All right. I mean, I'm not saying like it's going to talk a lot of convincing. You don't need to. We're not going to run up a lawyer bill here or anything on me. It's gonna. It's basically all you guys is, hey, might be worth a shot.
I mean, the puck line's -1.5 is +160. The regulation win is +125. So
I like the 160.
Yeah.
I think you're getting greedy on that one. I would just stick to the money line.
Well, if Brian doesn't like it, then.
Well, I mean, the puck line's been the play the first two games of the series. Does Edmonton bounce back potentially? But given what I think we've seen in the first couple games, the puck line would make sense. But again,
I think this is the best we're going to see from Edmonton's tonight. I don't see them winning it, but it's going to be their best effort for sure.
All right. Well, what are you selling today, Brian?
Well, off a typical disastrous Friday, I got my bounce back 3-pack. I really love this Major League card. It was tough for me to keep this card to 3 plays, but you can get my pure profit 3-pack for $50 at PickDawgz.com, premium picks, or my best bet, my Saturday pound zone play for $30.
How about you, Chris?
for me, I got my usual MLB $15 pickoff play. Hit the skids with it yesterday. The New York Mets couldn't come through for us, but bounced back today with arguably my favorite pickoff play that I put out since I've started doing them. So got that for $15, or I have an MLB triple play that is 3 completely separate plays. The pickoff play not included in that 3-pack, but still 3 MLB plays on the board that I absolutely love for $39.95 at PickDawgz Premium.
All right. How about you, Romanelli?
Yeah, we went 3-0 in baseball Thursday, 3-0 in baseball yesterday. So let's go 3-0 one more time. I've got my MLB best bet, $15 Ron's Rundown MLB best bet. And I also got a 3-pack that has my best bet as well as a run line play and a money line play. So you can check out those plays, or you can check out my long-term plans like my season pass, which will save you in the end.
All right. I have my $15 big play, another winner yesterday on that with the Houston Astros. Another no-doubter, 2 no-doubters in 2 days. I think between Ron and myself, and I know ours are going at about probably 70% or better clip on these $15 plays. I think we've done a good job of picking out the one that we really do like the best, and I think that's been the best part of it. Is kind of like, and that's why it's been so effective. Is that really since we started doing it, it's kind of like this really is the game that I like the best, and it's kind of like people ask me what's the one you like the best, and it's like. It is more expensive to buy picks that way than buy long-term packages, for sure. But these are guaranteed, meaning if they don't win, you get a credit. And so I could see it. And it's $15, So I get it. But regardless of the guarantee or whatever, it's going to still be more expensive than buying them the other way. But a lot of people like it that way, so I'm going to continue to give them out, and I think as long as we continue to win, I think people are going to like it. So it's pretty easy. Once again, as I announced yesterday, going forward, all daily picks and packages are guaranteed. No more of the non-guaranteed and guaranteed. No more confusion. No more anything. You don't win, you get a credit. It's like that to me was the worst. It's like people, they don't win and they still get a credit. I understand it was a lower price and some people don't want their credit, whatever, but too bad. getting the credit, whether you like it or not. But yeah, we head to Major League Baseball action today. I still can't believe nobody else is here. Oh, Jovan is here.
Jovan's here.
Nice. All right. He doesn't care about hockey, so he's just in time. Perfect. And Jovan, how you doing today?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I know the other night in the NBA, you bet that game every way you could possibly bet it. And I think he had first quarter, first half, game total, and money line. It was every way you could possibly hit it. He hit it every single way. Obviously, that's not going to happen every single night, just most. But, what do you got going on today? I know there's no NBA today.
Nah, I just got a couple Major League Baseball plays, individually packaged, just 2. So, it's about it. $19.99.
Picking and choosing your way around the card, nothing wrong with that. We see a lot of guys do the spray methodology where it just seems they pick almost every game on the card or just pick every favorite on the card depending on who you are. And but some guys just have, like Brian likes 3 plays. He doesn't care if there's 100 games or 3 games.
I was doing 5 for a while. There were NHL playoff games, NBA playoff games. I was doing 5. I don't always do 3. I try to do 3.
But you generally lean to 3. Generally speaking, gravitate towards 3.
It's tougher in college football season when there's a million games out there.
It could be. Anyways, got plenty of action today though, and I don't know. I really like this card, and it's like, I really do. I really like it. I have I also have a 3-pack today, and I also have extra plays on top. I have an extra play on top of that. So like if you're a long-term subscriber, you get more plays. So it's exciting. Basically, it's raining, so I need something to do. So I degenerately gamble. Don't judge me, Ruffalo. I saw that look. I freaking saw it. I saw it.
I am not judging you because I do the same things. So
I saw it.
Welcome to the club.
Did one of these. Anyways, Yankees-Tigers, Cubs-Cardinals, and Blue Jays-Twins. So this Cub-Cardinals looks like a makeup, right? This is not the same Cub-Cardinals as the Caleb Killian game. This is the first game.
Yes, Johan Oviedo.
And
Matt
Johan Oviedo. Johan Oviedo.
Right left. Yeah, he's a bum.
Wow. Ouch. We're not making. We're not. All right, Brian, you go first then, since you're.
All right, I'm going to go first here. I'm going to take the Chicago Cubs. I lost yesterday, got my butt kicked. I started off good, but then the Cubs were the Cubs. But he got Matt Swarmer. He's actually a local guy. I think he's from Moton, Pennsylvania. But 6 innings, 1 run in his first start. His minor league career has been subpar at best, but this season he's 3-1, 2.08 ERA, and a 0.95 WHIP. I think the Cubs with Johan on the mound, if you look at his minor league numbers this year, he's recent call-up for the Cardinals. His ERA is close to 6 in the minors. I think the Cubbies will be able to get to him. So Cubs money line in game 1. The game 2 that you mentioned, the Tigers-Yankees, I'm going to take Bo Brisky and the Tigers plus 1.5. They got beaten by double digits yesterday. And I don't see Severino as a minus 335 pitcher. So you got some nice plus money taking the 1.5. And then Twins and Blue Jays. I'm back-to-back in my guy Bundy. Not in a big way here, but I'm going to take him on the run line. I just don't see the Blue Jays being 2 runs better with Barrios on the mound. So give me the Twins plus 1.5 combined with the Cubbies money line and the Tigers plus 1.5.
How about you, Chris?
I could practically hear Johan Oviedo ripping up Brian's invite to the Cubs and Cardinals game after that bashing. But I'm going to go with the over in that Cardinals-Cubs game 1. Oviedo was a guy we did make money with, or make money fading. Last year he was brutal for a lot of his starts, and I'm not necessarily buying into the Matt Swarmer hype. I think both guys can get lit up a little bit here. I could easily see a 5-4 game. The wind was blowing left to right yesterday. It didn't stop there from being 19 runs. I think we can get into double digits here as well. And I'm going to go with the over as well in that Tigers and Yankees matchup. I was leaning towards the under, but I think that the Yankees could get a few off of Brisky here, and I expect the Tigers to at least show up offensively, which is not what they did yesterday. So give me the over in that one as well.
So we have a question in the comments, and they're asking about a definition. So we have a website that is ours. We don't do a lot of publicity on it yet. It's something that we're working on, but it's basically the framework is all there, and anything you need to see something like this. Anytime you ever have a question as to what does this mean? What does it mean? What does run line mean? What does puck line mean? What does action mean? What is favorite? What is square? What is all this stuff? Wageringterms.com. It's one of our sites. Feel free to use it as often as you like. But go to wageringterms.com and you can get the answer to any of those type of questions that you like.
I didn't even know about it.
Well, we got a lot of things you don't know about. We got wagering terms. We also have we got one that you would love, arbitrage.
Do you have a picture of me next to like a razor blade or something?
We have arbitrage calc.
Wow.
.com too, which has like 25 different calculators for arbitrage betting and all different kinds of different things.
That's cool.
Yeah, way cool. We just haven't done a lot with it yet, but we will going forward. We have a lot on the table. There's a lot going on.
Must be top secret stuff.
It's not top secret. I just announced it. I just told everyone. As a matter of fact, there's a link to it in the video, in all of our videos.
They put Brian's picture in a square frame. That's all it was. With a butter knife.
You ever hear the Devo song Blockhead?
Jeez.
That's kind of what it is.
I thought you were calling me a blockhead.
No, Devo. 8 corners, 90-degree angles, flat top, stare straight ahead, snake eyes, blockhead.
I guarantee you, if I ask my fiance, she'll know it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube. Romanelli, what do you think of this slot?
I think me and Mr. Bittler are probably going to be going at it in this show. I can already tell with the way he's talking. He's Mr. Sharp, and I just can't seem to think why he would want to take the Twins. When you look, they have the better record, the pitcher with the lower ERA, yet the Blue Jays are minus 170. I would think that would kind of raise some eyebrows for him, but I'm going to take Barrios and lay the run line with the Blue Jays. I watched Dylan Bundy last time on the mound, and he was dreadful against the Tigers of all teams. I know the Twins got to the Blue Jays yesterday, and I know a lot of people are upset about that in my comments section on the rundown. It seemed like 30 people said Blue Jays can go to hell and stuff like that. But, I still think this team's playing good baseball. I mean, they're winning a lot of games as of late and playing well at home, too. And we know Minnesota's without a lot of players in the bullpen as well. So I'm going to take the Blue Jays on the run line.
-1?
-1.5. I'm not going to do the Ninos.
Because Al's not here. Someone's got to do it. Jovan?
Yeah, I gotta roll with the Yankees, but I gotta drive this price down. So I'm gonna extend it to three, maybe 3.5 on this one. Also, because I just think that the Yankees are rolling right now, and it's just gonna be one of those series where they're just gonna toe tag them basically. And as for this Twins and Blue Jays game, I made the sad mistake of going against my good friend Dylan Bundy. Never rolled with him, never backed him a day in my life until last start. Put him in a parlay and bit me in the ass. So I'll never do that again. I'm rolling with the Blue Jays.
All right. I don't know. I think Bo Brisky's a solid option here. The Tigers 7-3 in their last 10, got blanked last night, almost no hit, almost perfect gamed, right? So I think they bounced back today. They obviously have they didn't waste any hits, any opportunities last night. So they got them all in their back pocket for this one. Luis Severino is just one of those guys that, I'm telling you, it always looks like he's in control out there, throwing 1,000,000 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden it's like he gets hit, and it's kind of like he just loses it, right? It's like all of a sudden everything's straight down the middle. He's trying to overpower everyone. What is they come up to the thing, you got this, right? They tell him, the catcher is, you got this thing, right? You got it. And then he don't got it, man. He just gets crushed. So I'm going to go Bo Brisky, the 20th round draft choice. 20th round, right? For Brisky.
I think 27th round.
Yeah, 27th round, 802nd overall selection. You know, he might not have the pedigree that some of these other guys have, but it's okay. That's why we're getting plus 292
Dodger
money.
killer.
Yeah, he beat Kershaw. He sure as hell can beat Luis Severino. Johan Oviedo, we like to pretend that he doesn't exist. And then for the Blue Jays Twins game, I'm with you guys. I think that both these pitchers are susceptible to being hit. I think that probably if you're heading over to the Sky Dome, this is like one of those games where they probably raise the prices on cotton candy or something because they know everyone's going to be stuck there for a while anyway. So it's like, let's just raise the prices because no one's going to have a choice even if they hold out because they're not paying the new prices. That type of day. I'm going to take, I'd like the first 5 over, and I like the Yerfie in that thing too.
I think it's a giveaway day today. So.
Yeah, they're giving away baseballs.
Teed that one up.
Anyways, we go to our next set of games, and what a set it is. Got the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. What a game that was last night. Got the Rangers taking on the Mariners. This could be a worst pitching matchup of the year. This could be the worst. Like, we've seen some horrible pitching matches where he's like Romanelli gave out as his rundown play the other night. It was like the Rockies and the Braves or something. There's like 28 runs, you know, it was like 19, right? 19 runs scored or something. But this one, on my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, I hit the under strikeout props on both these guys. Marco Gonzalez, 3.5 strikeouts. It hits at 80% clip. And Glenn Otto, 4.5 strikeouts. Under. Hits at an 80% clip. Yeah, neither of these guys. You know, Gonzalez doesn't have overpowering stuff. Not really his problem. It's just, he's not good. Speaking of not good, Tyler Wells on the mound in Baltimore against Tristan McKenzie, who, oh man, that left a mark last time out when he pitched. Gave up the 2 solo home runs to Candelario, and they lost 2-1 in Detroit. That was my big play last Sunday, maybe. Yeah, I'm good at letting things go, aren't I? I don't see Jovan, so we'll start in the other direction again. We'll go with Brian. What do you think?
For me, I'm going to take, it might be a sucker play, but I'll take the Seattle Mariners here. I think it's the better team at a nice price. Gonzalez, I think he'll give the Mariners 6-7 strong. They might not be dominant in innings, but I trust him a lot more than Otto on the mound. Mariners won a couple in a row. So Seattle, and then the Pittsburgh Pirates probably should have been a premium play for me. I got burnt with them last night, but I think tonight they get it back because Contreras should be able to give the Pirates 5 strong, and then the Pirates bullpen, which is pretty sturdy. The good guys in the bullpen. I think they can hold Arizona, and Zach Davies, a Cubs flunky. So Pittsburgh Pirates money line.
He's also a he's been a flunky for a lot of teams. Don't cut him short there. Anyways, got Chris Ruffalo. I'm gonna take Jovan out here.
Not being able to let stuff go, I think, is one of your redeeming qualities. But I'm gonna go with the first 5 under in that Arizona-Pittsburgh matchup. I just think, you know, the thing for the Pirates is that Roansy Contreras has pitched fairly well, but the Pirates have given him 2 runs of support or less in 4 of his 5 starts. So I think if you can hold down the Diamondbacks for the first 5, I think we have an under there. And I'm going to go with the Guardians first 5 and probably on the run line in this game as well. I like Tristan McKenzie, and I like what this Cleveland Guardians offense can bring to the table a lot more than potentially what the Orioles can do here against McKenzie. So give me the Guardians first 5 and on the run line for the full game.
We have a question here from Roberto Delgado, and Ruffalo, you might want to mute your earphones on this one. Because they want to know what Ron's bread and butter picks are. So you want Ruffalo around the bread and the butter gets.
Yeah, my bread and butter picks are just my premium plays, the plays that I feel the most confident in. So I call them my bread and butter because that's what I've had the most success with in my handicapping career.
Ruffalo's got like 6 different breads already planned out.
Now, you can think of it as bread and butter, or you could also think of the bread and butter pickles. It's whatever you like.
Yuck. All I have to say about that. Yuck.
Anyways, you're up
ruin everything
on these games.
Yeah, I think the only 6 or 7 strong Gonzalez has given up today are homers over the wall. I mean, you look at his last outing against the Rangers, 4 2/3, 6 runs, 2 of those were earned, but a home run as well to Nick Solak. And I don't think he pitches well in this spot, but I really can't back Glenn Otto either. He's pitched well recently, and he's faced some tough lineups as well, so I'll give him credit there, but I do think he is in store for some regression. I lean towards the Rangers, but I like the over in that game as well.
Jovan, Pirates, Diamondbacks, Rangers, Mariners, and Orioles-Guardians.
Yeah, I'm a fade Zach Davies. He's looked like he's going in the wrong direction. So I'm on Pittsburgh in that one, just on the strength for that. And Glenn Otto, just like Romanelli said, he's last 3 starts he's pitched well, so I'll back him over Marco Gonzalez and the Seattle Mariners, even though the Mariners have strung together 2 straight wins. So I'm on the Rangers to get off that 3-game snide that they're on right now.
Yeah, this is a mess in Texas today. You have two pitchers that the other team is facing the side, that they hit better. They hit lefties better, they hit righties better. It's like it's that magical combination. You're gonna want to bring a glove and probably pack a lunch for this thing. I mean, you're gonna be there a while on the Globe Life, so expect to see it. I think also what's the other one I was looking at? I also think that I also like the Yurfie in the Guardians-Orioles game. I think if you're going to get to McKenzie, you got to get him early. And I think Wells, he's gettable as well. So we move to our next set. And it is the Athletics versus the Red Sox. Pablo Lopez, the pitcher, not the handicapper, on the mound for the Marlins against the Giants. And then you've got Aaron Ashby taking on Mackenzie Gore in Milwaukee in what really might be the feature game of the day. Jovan, what do you think of these 3?
You know what? I bypassed the Padres yesterday on the premium pick, and I was kicking myself in the ass in it because I actually took the under first 5, and the Padres was just all over Corbin Burns. But in this one, I like Mackenzie Gore and what he brings to the table, so I'm gonna roll with the Padres in this one as well. And I'm gonna lean towards the Marlins with Pablo Lopez, even though the Marlins have lost his last 3 starts. I just have more faith in him as a pitcher than Logan Webb. So those are the plays that I'm taking in this segment.
How about you, Ron?
Yeah, I think the total's a little too low in that Red Sox-A's game. I know Nick Pivetta has been a lot sharper lately than he was at the beginning of the season, but if you look at his numbers, he's still susceptible to giving up some runs. I know the Oakland A's lineup is really struggling right now, but they even pitched in a couple runs last night and the game went over. I think Boston will do most of the scoring. Paul Blackburn, another guy that, sharp at the beginning of the season, but lately I haven't been too impressed with his game, and I do think he is in trouble against a Red Sox team that's hitting the ball really well, especially on the road and especially against right-handed pitching. But I also like the Padres on the money line, getting a good price. San Diego hits left-handed pitching really well, and I'm really impressed with Mackenzie Gore so far. I was a little, I would say, concerned at the beginning of the season just because he's a young arm getting his first action in the major leagues, but I watched his outing last time against the Pirates, and he dominated 7 innings, 9 strikeouts against the Pirates team that hits lefties not too badly. So I like Gore. I'm going to take the Padres getting a good price on the money line.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm with the Padres as well, mainly because I think Ron hit it right on the head. Gore's been pitching very well. He's been pitching like the best prospect in the Padres. Can you help me with this one, Mitch?
Organization.
There we go. I think he's just pitching like a lights out prospect, and I think he's going to be a cornerstone of this Padres rotation for time to come. And Aaron Ashby, I think a lot of people are going to sort of back the Brewers, given he allowed just an unearned run against the Padres a couple starts ago. But I think the Padres get to Ashby this time around, and Gore throws another gem. So I like the Padres there. And I like the under 7 in that Giants-Marlins game. I'd probably back the Giants if this game were in San Francisco, because Logan Webb's pretty much unbeatable at home. But I think Pablo Lopez can deal another start here. I think this is going to be a 3-2 kind of game. So I like the under there, and I'm leaning towards the Oakland A's, mainly because if the A's are going to get a win, it's likely going to come with Blackburn, who's been their best pitcher. But again, not my strongest play on the board, to say the least.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers there in the money line. They're 15-7 at home, and Aaron Ashby probably is their 5th best starter, but this Brewers have a heck of a rotation. And Mackenzie Gore, he's also a stud, pitched great this year, should give the Padres 6 or 7 strong. I also like the under 7.5 Padres and Brewers. I think even if it was 5.5 total, I would lean towards the under. So for me, it's the Milwaukee Brewers money line and then under 7.5 Padres Brewers.
I go back and forth on that Padres-Brewers game, but I think if you're going to play Padres, you just play them on the run line. Just take the big payoff, plus 170 or something. You get on it. That's what the betting tools recommend. -1.5, plus 170. I also like Blackburn against Pivetta. I'm not a Red Sox fan or backer. A's, though, 7-22 at home. It's getting ugly. It's not ugly already. And then, I don't know, Pablo Lopez just seems to be one of those guys that it's like, I don't know, he can't win. He's good. Can't win. So I'm going to take the Giants, Logan Webb. We go to Kansas City, where the Royals they wanted no part of last night's game. Here they are back on the field. I think they've given up. They're one of the bottom 3 teams in baseball. The Royals, the Nationals, and the Phillies. And it's kind of like, I think
Phillies aren't one of the worst. Come on now.
The Phillies are the worst, you said? That they don't belong
They're
in the
not
bottom
even
3?
close to being worst. I mean, there's plenty of teams that are worse.
First manager fired of the 2022 season was the Philadelphia Phillies. First team.
Well, that's because they're too talented to be freaking where they are. So anyway, they're not one of the worst. You just say that to get me going.
Because the middle of their batting order can't pitch, unlike the Angels, whose middle of the batting order can pitch. That's the only difference.
Oh,
between
they
those
kicked
two
their
teams.
butts yesterday, 10-0. So white butt kicking.
What's the Phillies record? Oh, their manager got fired. That's right. Anyways, Royals-Astros. At least the Royals have an excuse. Got the Reds and the Nationals. Eric Fede's pitching. Expect to see some things that only Fede can do out there. And got Drew Rasmussen and Dylan Cease in Tampa as the Rays take on the White Sox. Brian, what do you think?
This is probably gonna be my square patty play of the day. I'll take the Astros. I'll lay 2.5 here against the Royals. I think Bubik's gonna get hit around pretty good by the Astros. I'll take the Washington Nationals with Fede. I said last time he started, I thought he was their best pitcher, and then he went out and got beat up. But I think Tyler Mahle, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Cincinnati Reds. It's too much juice for me with Cincinnati here. I think Washington gets another W.
How about you, Ruffalo?
I'm trying to get that.
Because the Nationals are known for stringing them together. I don't think they've won back-to-back games in 2 years.
I was really waiting.
It's the World Series.
I was waiting for the Eisenhower administration, but Eisenhower wasn't there in 2005. But I'm going to go August. I'm going to go Yerfie in that Nationals and Reds matchup. I can go over 2.5 plus 475 plus 3.5 at plus 1225. The runs are going to come early and often in that game. And I'm with you guys. I like the Houston Astros on the run line. I'm not the biggest Luis Garcia fan, but I think he's much better than the alternative of Chris Bubik, especially with that lineup behind him. So give me the Astros on the run line. I like the Chicago White Sox on the money line. I'm a Dylan Cease fan. Normally for me, the knock was that Cease could only beat the Detroit Tigers, but now he's actually pitching fairly well, and Drew Rasmussen coming off his worst start of the year. Have to see how he bounces back, but lean towards the White Sox in that one.
How about you, Romanelli?
Yeah, I like the White Sox in that one. Dylan Cease struggled quite a bit against the Red Sox, but then bounced back last time out, and I still think he is the far better starter in this matchup. Drew Rasmussen, the biggest issue with him that I've seen this season is he gives up a lot of hard contact, high average exit velocity, and hard hit percentage, and that's where you give up home runs, and he's given up 3 homers in his last 2 starts, his last 8 innings against the Marlins and Rangers, and I think the White Sox have a better lineup than those 2 teams. I know Chicago hits lefties a lot better than they do righties, but they're improving against right-handed pitching, and the power bats are starting to show up. I know that it's been hard to watch the White Sox lately, but I do think they get the win here, and you're getting a really good price with the White Sox. So I'll take them on the money line.
Jovan?
Yeah, so Eric Fetty, Tyler Malley equals runs. So I'm on the over in that one. I mean, there's really no other choice for me but to take the Houston Astros. I'll take them on the run line. And until the White Sox could show that they could win a ball game, they're on the 4-game losing streak, I'm just gonna fade them right now. Just not looking like they're playing good ball. So I'm on Tampa Bay in that one.
I'm going to go with the White Sox just because it's a homer pick. Really no other reason. They've been playing absolutely terrible. They're lousy on the road, and they've lost about 160 times in a row to the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa Bay. They usually do pretty well against them in Chicago, but they didn't even do that this time around. Yeah, I think the Royals and the Phillies probably could play for last place. They should both just play each other the rest of the way.
They're smoking.
And then, the Reds and the Nationals, Eric Fetty's pitching. It's like the last time I saw Fetty, I had the Mets on the run line against him as my play of the day. And the Nationals came out and scored 3 runs against Peterson. And, and then Eric Fetty just doing things that only Fetty can do. Really just showing the Mets that, there's really no lead that's safe when Fetty's on the mound. He did go 1.1 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, and a dinger in that 52 pitches, and he was out of Dodge. Short afternoon at the ballpark for him, and, former first-round draft choice, number 18 overall. Yeah, odd. Just odd. It's like, how could you miss that much? And it's like, now you're invested in this guy, What do you do when you have, like, him and Josiah Gray, and it's like, yuck.
Hey, don't be hating on Josiah Gray. Bright future.
Josiah Gray's his career's not over with.
Not a day gamer.
He's sharp. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but not now. Not yet.
No,
he got done yesterday. 6 innings, 2 runs given up.
They're not going to compete right now.
Well, not with Fetty in the rotation or not.
Fetty's not that bad.
Fetty's not there. It is.
Look, he's going against Tyler Mail.
That
His
bad.
numbers are even worse. He's
not worse than Fetty. He is not worse than Fetty.
I'm not saying his numbers are worse.
So last time out for Mailey at home, 6.2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Yeah, he's worse than 1 inning, 8 runs.
You're comparing one start over the
body of work. Are you going to get into the body of work?
Body of work this year.
By the end of the season, Malley will have a way better ERA. I mean, it's not even a comparison.
It's like comparing the Phillies to the White Sox. It's like it doesn't even.
The White Sox would be the second team to fire their manager. The White Sox are
well, I would like to do the firing. I never liked the La Russa hiring. Be sure to smash that like button, everyone out there watching.
I say the Phillies would have a better record than Chicago by the end of it.
I don't say it enough, but smash that like button. Check out the betting tools if you haven't done so, man. They've been straight money. So the betting tools are just cool, right? It's like you can configure the whole thing about the betting tools. I try and explain to people. It's like, and I try and do it in the videos, and it's hard to do it because I can't do the betting tools. I have to do a betting tool show now that we have a lot of time in the afternoons with no soccer show, no NHL show, no shows in the afternoon except for the drive-through. I guess I can do a betting tools thing, but I could show you guys. It's like the cool thing about the betting tools, and we used to go over them. It's like you can configure these things to a bunch of different ways to look at these different bets, and then they show you how often they come in and the odds. So like today on my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, I picked a prop on purpose in the NHL that only hits 50% of the time. It hits 50% of the time, but it pays plus 144. So if you're going to get plus 144 on a bet that pays, that's 50-50, it's almost as good. Well, it's as good as getting, minus 110 on a bet that hits 80% of the time, right? It's like if you can get plus 150 on a coin toss bet all day, you bet it all day, right? It's like 50-50. Why not, man? All day, twice.
That's tough to say. You picked a prop that pays plus 144. Say that 5 times fast.
Pick the prop that pays 144. Pick the prop that pays 144. Six sheep sick.
It's a show off.
I slit the sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit.
Ooh.
Try that one.
We almost got.
I was gonna say we're gonna get the explicit rating if you keep trying that one.
Try that one. I slit the sheet. The sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. Yep, said it.
5 of that, we're thrown off the air.
All right. Anyways, you're right, Brian. The Phillies are dreadful. Anyways, I like Dylan Cease a lot. I don't know. Rasmussen's one of those guys. He never really looks good, but just continues to win, right? He never really looks. You wouldn't call him like an all-star. Speaking of the Phillies, Zach Wheeler on the hill here, up against Michael Lorenzen. Who's managing the Phillies? I didn't catch this whole story.
Rob Thompson.
I believe it's the assistant manager, isn't it?
Rob Thompson, I believe. The one of the bench coaches.
And then they're on the hunt for a new manager?
Yeah, they want a new voice, so we'll hire somebody inside the organization.
I heard they wanted Romanelli for the job, but
I could take him there.
Like even I don't want that gig.
What's Mike Schmidt doing?
Oh boy,
he's a broadcaster on the weekends. I like Schmidt.
What do you know?
He coached single. He was a manager in single A for a little bit.
He's the best Philly of all time. Him and Lefty. Michael Jack Schmidt. Michael Jack Schmidt.
They should just make Bryce Harper the manager.
Player manager. There you go.
You don't know Jack Schmidt.
That, if it was possible, I would bring Pete Rose in if he was able to manage him.
He's not.
That would go great.
I know he's not, but I would choose Pete Rose.
He'd be like, even I can't pass up betting against the Phillies.
Jovan, did you get a say on these games? The White Sox raised the Reds, Nationals.
Yeah, I got.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. We got Phillies-Angels. We've got the Cubs and the Cardinals, game 2. We've got the Rockies and the Braves, and the Mets and the Dodgers. I'm interested to see this Caleb Killian. I'm interested. Yeah, I mean, I understand he's on the Cubs, but I am interested in this. I always like to see young pitchers, when they're coming up. This guy looks like Jimmy from Ghost Picks. Looks spitting image. I mean, I thought it when I first saw this picture. I'm like, it's Jimmy from Ghost Picks. His real name's Caleb Killian. Anyways. Jovan, what do you think of these 4 games? Muted.
My bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, so keep on fading these Angels. I don't know what's wrong with them, but the wheels have fell off the damn bus with these guys. 9-game losing streak, and Zach Wheeler's on the mound. I'm gonna roll with the Phillies, and I'm gonna roll with them on the run line at that. We got pounded last night, 10-0. Yeah, I'm all over it. I'm on the over in the Mets and Dodgers game. Seeing David Peterson on the mound, he's good for a good 4 or 5 runs, and that's just on on the average start. Walker Buehler, he's given up some runs this season, so I'm gonna roll with the over in this one. Did I say under? If I said the under before, I really meant the over. The 8.5 is just too light for this game. in my book. And I think I'm going to stop there. That's it.
Romanelli?
I think David Peterson gives up 4 or 5 earned runs before he starts his day. But in that Braves-Rockies game, we see the Braves opened up as, I think, a -150 favorite. Now they're up to -180. I think it's for good reason. You know, Kyle Freeland, a left-handed pitcher that has not pitched very well at Coors Field this season, facing a Braves lineup that's #1 in baseball in isolated power against lefties, and just crushed another Rockies lefty in the first game in this series in Austin Gomber. I believe he gave up 9 runs in that game in the first 5 innings. So I like the team total over for the Braves, and I also like Atlanta on the run line.
How about you, Ruffalo?
For that Braves
No
Rockies game,
no thoughts on Caleb Killian here for the Cubs?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see it. This game, not the best strikeout to walk ratio, only 32 Ks and 33 in the third innings, but 2.2 ERA in AAA. The whip's a little high, but you know, we'll see how he does.
Well, here's the thing: the Cubs, you know, as much as I love to rag on them, they have had some pretty good minor league talent throughout the year, so they're pretty good evaluators of talent. It's just the on-field play once they get to Wrigley that, you know, where it all falls to pieces and dreams are crushed. But the thing is that, you know, their prospects, when they trade them away, they're usually very, very good, and you know, they brought some pretty good guys up. This was the guy they traded Chris Bryant for. So they had a lot of offers for him. You know, it's not like they had to just take what someone would give them. This was the guy that they wanted. It's kind of like Josiah Gray. You know, it's kind of, you know, this is the guy that they had other options. This was what they took. So I don't know. I think that maybe there's something there. I think the Cubs, you know, as much as I love to rag on them, they've had some really good prospects. I mean, like, you know, they had Dylan Cease and Eloy Jimenez. They had, had some good ones, you know. Mark Pryor. I know they had a couple others at some point. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that Braves and Rockies game and take an extended total. I'm gonna go over 13.5. I think it's up to +160. You go over 14.5 +220. I think this is going to be a high scoring game that probably gets over the total by the middle innings. I think, you know, on Spencer Strider, you know, he did have his worst outing of the year, and yeah, he could bounce back, but I don't want to go to Coors Field if I'm looking to bounce back. I think the Rockies get a few off him, and you know, like the guys mentioned earlier, Kyle Freeland, he's just been absolutely dreadful this season. This was a guy that was normally comfortable in pitching at Coors, but now he's been getting rocked at home, and like I said, we're going to get to this over by the middle innings, and I'm going to take the New York Mets +1.5. I think David Peterson, he's pitched well. I do think the Dodgers get to him a little bit here, but Walker Buehler hasn't been as dominant as we've seen in past seasons, and I think the Mets bounce back and get a little bit more offensive production than they did last night. So give me the Mets +1.5. I think it's 4-3, 5-4 kind of game.
We should have, like, you know, we should run a contest, like, you know, how do you think Chris Ruffalo bounces back? You know, he's talking about bouncing back. It's like, probably with a plate of ribs, you know? It's like,
yeah. Let me think about that.
Have you ever gone to, like, any rib joint, like, where it's not all you can eat? Like, is that even in your vocabulary?
Yeah, it is. I will sacrifice the all you can eat for a good rack of ribs.
Or quality rack?
Yeah, quality over quantity.
You ever double down? Like, it's like really
absolutely.
Good? All right.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Next time we're in Vegas, we'll have to check out a rib joint.
Absolutely.
The problem is Ruffalo in Vegas, by the time he gets motivated to go anywhere, it's 11:30 at night, and it's like everywhere's closed. It's like it takes him 4 hours to get ready. It's like.
Well, you never go out on a date and order ribs. That's the worst thing you can do.
Well, it's not a date; it's us.
It's me
and Ruffalo. Believe me, it's hardly a date.
Or we try to get a cab and it takes 20 minutes to get there, and by the time it comes, we had to run back to the hotel room to get something.
Yep, that's happened too. That was during the mask era. They wouldn't let me in the cab without the mask. Had to go back to get the mask.
Upstairs.
No one had masks. No one had masks. Tony Roma's Roma's on Fremont Street. We didn't even check it. We were actually in downtown. We didn't even check Tony Roma's. There is Tony Roma's on Fremont Street. Brian Hasty, my college roommate. And also Romanelli, Islanders fan all the way.
Oh, there you go.
He's got the Bobby Nystrom picture with him and Bobby Nystrom.
Okay, we're not all perfect.
Brian, what do you got in these games?
How about take the under in the Phillies and Angels game? We got the NL pitcher of the month on the mound, Zach Wheeler, who had a rough start to the season, but since then it's a 1.65 ERA, a 1.01 WHIP, and 40 strikeouts over 32 and 2/3 innings. And Lorenzen for the Angels, I think Phillies broke out for 10 runs yesterday, but I don't trust the Phillies bats. I think Lorenzen can keep the Phillies in check. I think we have a nice under here. Then the Mets and Dodgers, I got burned a little bit going against the Dodgers, but I'm going to be right back on the Mets, but I'm going to take them plus 1.5 here. Peterson, not the greatest. I know he's Romanelli's favorite pitcher, but I think he can give the Mets 5 strong here. Bueller overpriced as usual. I'll take the Mets plus 1.5.
I think Brian was my roommate when the Islanders swept the Oilers in that series. I'm pretty sure he was. Wow. Yeah, because he was woofing crap. Woofing major crap. Something like that. He was woofing it. About Gretzky, particularly. Anyways. I like a lot of things, but I don't know. This Caleb Killian certainly is interesting. He's probably, if he stays on the Cubs, he's not going to have a very long career, so we're going to have to really take it in while we've got it. Yep, they lost the next year to the Oilers. I think Brian chanted, "Beat your white Podfin." Entire series, every second. No, that was the Rangers do that. Ranger fans. That was Brian. Brian was. We were at a bar in Boston where they sang during the entire Boston Celtics series. I forget who they played, but the entire game they sang, "We love you, ML. Oh yes, we do. We don't love anyone." It's fun. The whole game, like nonstop, except at the first one at the beginning of the second half, they did Kevin, and then they went back to ML, and that was it. The whole freaking place, the whole game. Anyways, yeah, the Podfin, that must be my friend Ralphie, Ranger fan. Anyways, I hate Zach Wheeler. I like the over in that game. I like the over in the Rockies-Braves game. I like the over in the Dodgers-Mets game. And I'm going to take the Cubs. Any parlays for today?
I got a simple 2-game parlay here. I think it's the 2 best free picks on the board. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Colorado Avalanche today teamed up together.
Yeah, for mine, I'm going to go with the Astros on the run line, the Padres on the reverse run line, and the Chicago White Sox on the money line. And if you want to add a fourth, the Yurfee and the Reds and Nats.
Romanelli.
Yeah, no parlay for me, but I'm going to go with a couple plus money plays that I like in this Braves-Rockies game. I like the over 7.5 Braves team total at plus 135. I like the over 7.5 total runs in the first 5 innings at plus 145. And I like the team total Braves over in the first 5 innings, 4.5 at plus 170. I think the Braves get to Freeland early, just like they did to Gomber, and I think it's going to be a similar scoreline to we saw in that game 1.
That sounds like a same game parlay right there.
Yeah, I would be down with that.
Yeah. But now Toronto Blue Jays, San Diego Padres, and Tampa Bay Rays.
Over in the Rangers-Mariners. Over in the Rangers-Mariners. Over in the Rangers-Mariners. Parlayed with the A's and the Giants. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. It was fun. Just the 5 of us. I don't know where Al Ninos is. Let's see. Have a great day.